who've had the misfortune to listen to me a couple of times. I'm a 7:30 to 9 meeting kind of guy. And I think this meeting will run longer than that. So I want to get started. So could everybody please calm down and quiet down, please? And if not, Eva will hit you. No. No. But I figure if I talk loud enough, which I can, everybody will get the hint. Okay. Let's get started. So first of all, thank you all for coming. Okay. People are still being checked in, but I want to get started. So the first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. Leo, can you want to give the Pledge of Allegiance?
I'll introduce myself.
Well, just give the Pledge of Allegiance and don't introduce yourself in a bit when it's your turn.
Sounds good. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States.
It's one nation with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. All right, before we get started, I wanted to do one thing, although I'm sure a lot of you were at the rally yesterday or the rally last night for Renee Goodman, but I wanted to bring her picture and I wanted to take a minute of silence in her memory and for what she suffered for truth and goodness in our country. So let's just take a minute, if we would, to just think about her and what she did for what she's done, and that we will try to live up to her memory and to her courage. Okay, thank you. All right, first order of business is approval of the minutes of the last meeting. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes? John. Okay, thank you very much. Can I have a second? Kathleen. Okay. Can I have a vote? All in favor? I'm sorry? Correction. Oh, yes, that's right. Thank you, Nancy. I forgot. There's one error in the minutes, which is it stated that Nancy was running for state committee. She is not running for state committee. And so that should be corrected in the minutes. And you should all be aware that she's running for area representative to MCDC, not to state committee. So anyway, so that's the first thing. All right. Can I have a vote to otherwise approve the minutes with that exception? Can I have a voice vote, please? Everybody say aye. Thank you. All right. Treasurer's report. Carrie.
All right. So as of today, we have $18,662. We're in pretty good position right now, being January, going into our next election cycle. The spring mixer, which will be coming up soon, is our big fundraiser. So it looks like we'll be in great shape for that when it happens.
Just so everybody knows, that's in April. I think it's the 23rd. Zeke, huh? 26th. And Zeke and his committee will be in touch with all of you, and I hope you'll all come and pay. I also wanted to thank, since Tim Briggs is here, where is it? Tim, where are you? Tim has contributed to our office, and I really appreciate that. It really helps a lot, and we really appreciate that. Okay, next order of business, state committee. All right, I'm trying to get through as much as I can of the procedural stuff so we can get to the elections, but I do think it's important to make you all aware of what's happening. As most of you know from our last meeting, they've changed the rule in state committee because we picked up from 19 countywide to 20 countywide. Because we're at 20 instead of 19, state committee has decided that instead of electing 19 countywide, we're going to elect 20 by district. And there are 4 for our district, which, as you know, are part of the 17th Senate District that includes Norristown and other places, and that they will be electing 2 men and 2 women. from that district. Right now, the candidates that I know of from our area are Sarah for the women's spot, Murray Levin and Joe Foster for the man slot, and Tim's assistant Tim Kohler is running for one of the other men's spots. We released, the committee consists of the 15 area leaders across the county, as well as our Zeke and Jason, our county chairman, as well as 3 other people that Jason appointed. The 20 of us had a meeting, or most of us had a meeting last week, and we opened the application process, and people are submitting their names. But those are the candidates that I know about at the moment. What will happen is that the 20 of us will be meeting with the candidates, interviewing them, and then we'll be making a recommendation at the county convention. And I want to remind everybody that the county convention is February the 18th at North Penn High School at 1346, the address, at 1346 South Valley Road in Lansdale. That will be at 7 o'clock is when the convention will be. The doors will open at 5:30. And as has happened in prior years, at that convention, the 20 of us will be recommending a slate of candidates for the state committee spots, and we will be there to vote for the state house candidates, which we'll be talking about in a few minutes. All right. The next thing I wanted to talk about, I'm going to let Adrian, Adrian's next. Adrian's going to talk about what's going on at MCDC with the change in the bylaws.
I also had a question about your committee, picking people for state committee.
Yeah.
And I wondered if, like for the other ad hoc committees, you will let us know what the parameters were for your selection.
For my selection,
For,
or who our candidates are.
yeah, what the parameters you use to choose who you're recommending.
Oh. I have no idea.
Yeah, all right.
I
I just sprung it on you.
No, I'll answer your question. All I know as right now is that we are taking the applications from anybody who wants to run. And the committee will then review the 20 of us will then review the candidates and interview most of them, although I've been told not all of the candidates. I will be interviewing the people from our district. We had a discussion about that. Well, some people couldn't even raise the question of whether we should be, pushing, endorsing, interviewing the candidates from our own Senate district, since I already have obvious candidates in mind. But that was decided that we're all going to interview people, and then they will make a decision about how and who they're going to pick. And there's no criteria and it was your question, and I think a good one. There's no criteria about how to do that. All I know is we're going to interview, and then we're going to make a decision.
Okay.
That's as much as I know.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. Adrian Seltzer. My board designation is one of 4 reps to MCDC. Right now we do have, there's only 3 of us, and tonight we're going to choose our 4th. So one of the things that is happening in the bylaws committee is they want to change the standard for endorsement to go from 60% down to 55%. And from the meeting that we had last month and the meeting that we had here in executive, nobody's really for that. It is, and one of the things.
I'll talk about who is and why.
Okay.
So let me do that, unless you want to.
Go ahead.
Okay. The reason for the 55%, the reduction to 55%, is that the chairman of the committee, who pointed out to me when I asked him this question, why, said, well, with a committee full of lawyers, they picked the non-lawyer to be chairman. And I said, well, that's nice. I said, but why are you reducing it from 60 to 55? And his position was that with 60%, it's harder to get an endorsement, and he really wanted to not have open primaries. And he thought that lowering it to 55% would have open primaries. I can tell you that Adrian and I concluded from the last meeting that the majority of the people who spoke their minds, and Nancy was there and Sarah was there, that most people who spoke their minds were opposed to the reduction. And Adrian and I are going to move and second to stick at 60%.
Yeah. And
Fine.
and that 60% was also part of the.
Can't hear.
You can't. Oh,
Mic went off.
the mic went off. The mic went off. Okay, I will use my farmer's market voice. So part of the idea is the ad hoc committee for endorsements already went through this issue of the percentages. So they had suggested that the issue of needing an open endorsement or trying to get to the 60% when there's more than 2 candidates, there should be a runoff election, which is already in our bylaws. And another thing you should know about the bylaws, any changes to the county bylaws affect our bylaws. And so it's really important that we all pay attention to that. The next meeting is Thursday. You all have my contact information. I have been combing through the draft for the past month. And if you have any questions, you want to know anything, I think I can do that. Go.
So just to understand correctly, since our bylaws would be, people hear me? Yeah. I just wanted to be
I don't
clear.
know what-
Use your lawyer voice, Sarah. Stand up and use your lawyer voice.
Thank you. So our bylaws would then be impacted. So we are currently at a 60% threshold. If
Correct.
MCDC reduced to 55%, then we too would have to reduce to 55%. Am I following that correctly?
I am not sure if that part is exactly right.
We can be stricter, we can't be.
But
Lower.
it could be above, right? That would be that would set the ceiling.
Yeah.
Is that right?
No, that was at the floor.
So that would be
I'm sorry, I
the
said it
floor,
wrong. Yeah.
not the ceiling.
Sorry. Got it. Thank you.
But there's other issues in there about who can vote and who can't vote at certain things. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, Adrian and I have been writing opinions, and Adrian and I have been writing opinions and comments for the committee for some time, and so that's what's going to happen on Thursday. All right. Next is candidates for state rep. So I don't have a preference in what order they speak, but Megan, is that okay if you go first? You want to go last, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, okay. Remember, I'm not sure this mic's working.
Yes, yes, okay.
Well, do I have to stand back here?
You can do it wherever you want,
Okay, I'm gonna stay, I'm gonna,
not required.
You'll have to stand so the camera.
so that I
But
do
yeah,
have.
the
to.
camera has
Okay.
to see.
All right. That's okay. All right, I'll just project. I'm a former teacher, so hopefully everyone can hear me. Thanks for having me here tonight. My name is Megan Griffin Shelley. I am a lifelong resident of this district, a former teacher, an elected township supervisor, and chief of staff to Montgomery County State Rep Nancy Genst. I am now running for state representative because I believe that in this moment, we need someone who not only wants to do the right thing, but who knows how to do it. And so while some candidates face a steep learning curve, I believe I already have the inner knowledge of Harrisburg to hit the ground running on day one. Because to me, what it is all about is service. And I haven't just been watching this job, I've been doing the work. So for example, on legislation, I've worked for 2 sessions now with a bipartisan coalition on a bill that would grant full practice authority to nurse practitioners in an effort to address our state's crippling staffing shortages when it comes to healthcare.
You might explain what that means. But people
Sure.
who are not in the health, I know what you mean, but I think it'd be helpful.
Okay, so right now in Pennsylvania, in order to practice, nurse practitioners need to have what's called a collaborative agreement with a physician or with a doctor in order to practice, in order to prescribe medicine. And this bill would eliminate collaborative agreements after, of course, the nurse practitioners go through certain training. They won't just disappear without making sure that nurse practitioners have training and et cetera. But that would get rid of the collaborative agreements so that nurse practitioners are able to more freely do their job, especially across the state, but in rural areas especially. And that's why this bill is a bipartisan bill. I've been working for 2 sessions, as I said, on it, a bipartisan coalition to get rid of collaborative agreements. And that bill has been introduced by Reps Genst, Reps Kahn, and Rep Warner. It has 42 co-sponsors currently, and also the support of the Pennsylvania Coalition of Nurse Practitioners. So that's what I've kind of done on legislation. And then on collaboration, an example of that, I'm part of an active working group consisting of PennDOT, the Turnpike Commission, the Montgomery County Planning Commission, and federal, state, and municipal leaders to modernize the 309 and 611 interchanges so that we can keep our economy moving. And then on grants, I'm really, really proud of this one. Last year, I worked directly with House Appropriations to successfully advocate for the necessary budget itemization for a cross-municipal fire and EMS merger. So this is a $15 to $20 million project to construct a new facility. And that is now eligible for state capital funding through a RACP grant. And, obtaining,
What's that?
I did write down exactly, I know it as RACP, all the acronyms in Harrisburg. But it is a redevelopment assistance capital program. And basically what that is it's like the mother of all grants in the state. That's how you can obtain, right, like $15 to $20 million projects. And they have to be itemized in the budget in order to then be, for those municipalities to then be eligible. This kind of grant and obtaining this level of funding is not just about writing letters of support, right? This is about knowing exactly which doors to knock on in the Capitol. So if elected, I want to just focus on a couple of my key pillars. The first is, strengthening our social safety net. So for example, we need to bring back the first in the nation whole home repairs program. This was a program Montgomery County received $6.5 million in 2022 to help seniors and low-income families weatherize their homes, fix their roofs. And since then, funding has stalled for this program, and it's left thousands across our state on wait lists. So I want to work to refund that program so that we can keep families in their homes and we can also protect our housing stock. The second issue I want to focus on is accessibility and affordability of healthcare. This is a really important issue to me, as I'm sure it is to many of you in the room. And in Harrisburg, I want to fight to protect the roughly 5.4 million Pennsylvanians who have pre-existing conditions, so that if federal protections fail, they would still be protected here in our state. And as early as last March, the state house did overwhelmingly vote to pass legislation that would accomplish this goal, but it has since been shelved in the Senate. And then the last area I want to focus on is safeguarding our democracy. I mean, that's really important to me. The federal government is sowing distrust in our elections, and we must be a defender of democracy here in Pennsylvania. So I support same-day voter registration. I want to work to fix the poll worker catch-22 so that our dedicated municipal volunteers can also be poll workers. And I'll just end with this. Look, we know the reality. Pennsylvania faces a divided legislature, and passing the policies we care about is very hard work. And it does take energy, experience, and a battle-tested understanding of how to build coalitions in this current environment while we work really hard to flip seats. So I'm just going to leave it with this. I'm a government nerd who loves public service because I have seen firsthand in my everyday work how it changes lives. So I'm really excited to connect with all of you, meet voters where they are, and learn the challenges and opportunities in Lower Merion, Narberth, and White Marsh. So thank you for your time.
Are you going to be on this day?
I'm going to say.
For anyone? Okay. So anybody who wants to chat with Megan, she'll be here after the meeting, and I urge you if you have time to do that. Andrea, is that okay?
Yeah, I will look at the video at some point, I promise. But I have to go to bed by 9.
You and me both.
Worked a 12-hour day.
Let me see. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Narberth, my former queendom. I want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak tonight. We have a good slate of candidates running for the seat in the House. We have people with energy. We have people with ideas. I'm really proud of the group that has stepped up to serve, because it takes guts to do that. It's not so easy. I think amongst the candidates, I would argue I am potentially the best. Why would I argue anything else? But I think my background speaks volumes of what I've done, and what I'm looking to do speaks volumes for how I would represent the community. So a lot of you know me, but a lot of you don't know that I was a trial lawyer for 10 years. For 10 years, I represented people, various torts, discrimination, different areas of protection, of consumer protection. I was also on the Civil Rights Committee of the Philadelphia Bar Association during that time. I've been a big believer in fighting for people's rights, doing the right thing, meeting people where they're at, and making sure people are treated fairly and equitably across the board. I'm the only one who was a trial lawyer for 10 years. The next thing, I'm only one who created and ran their own small business for the last 22 years. And a lot of you, I see a lot of familiar faces because I know a lot of you have been to my business. Spots. Spots the place for pause. I know the struggles of dealing with a small business and being a working American. I know the struggles of trying to pay your bills and trying to pay your health care and your mortgage, and trying to balance it all while dealing with family members who may be sick or young or old. I know these struggles of the working everyday Americans. I can speak to them because I've lived them. I'm the only one who's demonstrated a commitment not only to my own personal advancement, but to my community. I've served this community for a decade, first as a borough council member, and then as mayor of the borough. And as mayor, my primary charge was the police department, to take care of the police department. And when I stepped into the position, I wasn't happy with the way the police department was being run. And that's the reason I stepped up for the position. I don't know if you realize, police departments take approximately 40% of municipal budgets. And that's what taxpayers are paying the biggest chunk of their budgets to cover for police departments. And by the way, I was participated in past 10 municipal budgets during my time in office in Narberth. So I understand the needs of our local governments of Narberth, of Lower Merion, and White Marsh. And while they each have their own, ins and outs, they're not so dissimilar that I wouldn't recognize them. So I think that's an important part of my background. But as part of my role as mayor, I'm really pleased with the transition that we've taken with the police department. We've taken it from one that gave me great concerns, both as a citizen and as a trial lawyer, and also I felt we weren't getting our money's worth. And so it is now a department that I am really proud to hand over to my successor, Dana Edwards. And I feel like I've given him a really great, over there. I don't have my readers on this, so good. I feel like I've handed him a police department that we can be super proud of, that's serving the community the way the community deserves to be treated. And one also which the members of the department are super happy with. So I feel like it's a really great transition. I'm super proud of that. I'd also like to talk for a moment about representation. Currently, the House has 203 members in the House, 63 of which are women. That means that while women are slightly over half of the population of the US, we are slightly under 1/3 of the population of who sits in the House of Representatives. And with the loss of Mary Jo Daley, we're going to lose one more. And I feel like representation really matters because each of us brings our own life experience and how we've lived our lives to the table, and it creates a comprehensive look at the problems we face and how we address them. So I think it's really important. Additionally, only one of the 63 women in the current House, Abigail Salisbury of Allegheny County, identifies as Jewish. Currently, we have one Jewish woman in a House of 203 members. And I believe that's a voice that's necessary at the table. East of Pittsburgh, there's not a single Jewish woman in the House. And I believe that's a voice that's lacking in the community. And I'm not saying I would represent only Jewish women. Of course I wouldn't. I represent everybody. But I believe voices matter and experiences matter. And that's a voice that's missing and experience that's missing in this particular body. And so I would bring that. I would double the number of Jewish women in the House with my election. What's that? Yeah. So with that, I would ask for your support as someone who's representative and who would do a nice job on the issues. And if you want to see more of my issues, go to Andrea4FOR staterep.com and you can read a little bit more about me and learn about what the work I've done. Thank you so much.
Jason.
Good evening, friends. Oh, they're now really working here. Good. Thank you for your continued contributions to DCLMN and for providing another opportunity for all of us to address you this evening. I think just taking a step back right now, taking a breath, we all know that right now we are living through what feels like a horrifying American nightmare, where every day is another catastrophic, awful, corrupt nightmare. We have cruel kings who are attacking our freedoms, stealing from the poor, and literally killing our neighbors. And no opposition in America today seems to be able to break through and make change. It's though we're in a Groundhog Day of despair. And yet, even through all of that, we know a different destiny is possible. My name is Jason Landau Goodman, and I'm running for state representative because I believe in a new American dream that works for us all. Trump might be in charge in DC, but he is certainly not in charge in Pennsylvania and definitely not in charge here in Lower Merion or Narberth. What we need to talk about is what we can do to advance our Commonwealth. And that's where I come in with my experience. It's up to us to hold our healthcare systems and insurance companies accountable to ensure coverage and protect and save lives. It's up to us to hold our utility companies accountable so electric rates don't keep rising. I don't know about you, but my electric rates have nearly doubled just in the past few months. It's up to us to end the systemic degradation of our land, water, and air in a way that strengthens our economy. And it's time for us to truly address our infrastructure needs so that every road and bridge truly works and that we are investing in our downtown main streets. I not only have deep roots in our community as a fourth-generation Lower Merion resident, but I've been in the trenches in Harrisburg for over 15 years. I've been an environmental attorney, civil rights advocate, and community organizer. I've written bills and amendments. I've testified before legislative committees. I've helped organize and run rallies in the heart of our capital. Everything I am comes from growing up in our community and learning to do the right thing, to speak truth, build power, and create change to help people. What I learned here is that we do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing. We don't look away, and we don't hand over our future without a fight. Together, we are going to protect what makes Pennsylvania our home. I'm ready to bring to bear everything I am to help our neighbors. For good governance, good health care, And as the great John Lewis would say, good trouble, please support me at the endorsement convention next month. As I shared before last month at the DCLMN meeting, I am so thankful for your trust and support. I look forward to working with you in the months and years ahead. And most of all, I just, again, want to sincerely thank you for all the work you do for our communities. You can reach me at any time. My email is jason@landaugoodman.com. My website is landaugoodman.com. And you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram. You can also, as has been mentioned, approach me after this meeting. All the candidates, we're here to talk with you. You can come up to me at any community event. I see many of you out there, and I look forward to getting to work with you. Thank you all so much.
Leah.
Salutations, my name is Leo Solga, and I want to start out by sharing something about myself. I begin most days by reciting a verse that I'm sure many of you will be familiar with. It goes like this: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom always to tell the difference. Today, I want to focus on courage, the courage to change the things I can. We are here, politically active, because we care about the same people and the same streets, schools, and corner stores. We are here because we love Lower Merion, Narberth, and Whitemarsh. And I'm here today running for state representative because my family, beloved friends, and members of my community have given me the courage to say things need to change. I'm running for state representative to fight for a government as good as its people, a state government that funds the regional rail, guarantees reproductive freedom, and sustains our public schools. I'll begin with public transit. As a commuter, the son of a daily regional rail rider, and a neighbor to many more, the sustainable security of SEPTA's future is a personal issue. The regional rail is the economic heart of the district. More than that, it builds this community socially and culturally. It makes us the main line. I envision a future where SEPTA does not run on short-term funding packages, where SEPTA can build, develop, and comfortably plan years into the future. And as an organizer, and having been a proud unionist, I'll add this: I envision a future where the workers that make SEPTA run are at every legislative table with a powerful, Democratic-backed voice. On reproductive freedoms, I simply do not believe that the state should follow any of us into the doctor's office. I will fight to maintain access to abortion, in vitro fertilization, and as crazy as it is to say, contraception. If elected, I will take the baton and carry on Mary Jo's good work. When it comes to codification, I firmly believe that we must remain on the offensive as Democrats. Let's fight for privacy and the right to choose. Let's now consider our public schools. As the only candidate to have graduated from our public schools, I intend to do all I can to maintain the excellence of our district's education systems while fighting for our neighbors just across City Line Ave. When it comes to building a better future, to investing in our future, there is no better place to begin than the classroom. These are my three core policies: fighting for public transit, reproductive freedoms, and public schools. Beyond policy, I center myself on three pledges: to be a present representative, a professional representative, and a personal representative. Being present means being in the district office as much as possible. If I'm not fighting for you in Harrisburg, that is where you will find me. And not just business hours, ideally 6 days a week. Of course, presence isn't just about being in the office, but reaching out to the community, promoting regular town halls and official office services with the same energy and zeal that I promote my own campaign. Being professional goes beyond just bow tie style. To me, professionalism is rooted in transparency. I pledge to publish the reasoning behind my every vote in Harrisburg, taking that step to bring the policy process to this community. Finally, being personal. As an intern at Mary Jo's district office, I saw firsthand how personal policy can be. I worked for the constituents of the 148th, making state programs tangible, bringing government support to neighbors who needed a hand. Moreover, I drafted legislation, including a piece that I'm particularly proud of, H.R. 165, a piece of legislation designed to improve county-level pretrial detention practices. Having mentioned that I was an intern for Rep. Daley, I'd like to take a moment to address my age. I am 22. I'm almost a decade younger than the youngest statewide elected Democrats in Harrisburg, close to 3 decades younger than the party average. I'll say this, I'm proud to be the young candidate. I hope I can be the opportunity to pull a new seat to the table, broaden the coalition, and speak for an underrepresented group. No doubt we all want young people voting and volunteering. I hope to take the next logical step with my candidacy. Moreover, regardless of my age, I believe I am uniquely qualified because 1, my distinct proximity to the issues such as public schools and public transit as a public school graduate and as a commuter. 2, because of my experience working on the constituent affairs of the 148th in the state rep's office. And 3, because of my unconditional and somewhat unconventional pledges to be radically present, professional, and personal. As I conclude, I want to thank the other candidates. Jason, Megan, and Andrea, I'm honored to compete with you. I appreciate how friendly we've all been, and I look forward to continuing this really cool, very wholesome mutual respect. I think it's awesome. Finally, I will reiterate my thesis. I'm running for office to work for you, to serve you, and with the courage borrowed from you, my neighbors, to make change for the better. Thank you very much. And of course, I will be here as well after the event, and I'd love to chat. Thank you.
Chairman Driggs.
Thanks, Robert. And that is truly impressive. That's why the Lower Merion Democratic and Narberth, I don't represent Narberth, is a special place. I'm going to miss Mary Jo. She's been a great partner. She's become a good friend. We work really hard on behalf of the whole community. But also, we both share a commitment to politics and helping grow our majority. So after listening to you four, you're all great. One of you is going to win, and I'm looking forward to working with you to help advance that goal of working with each other, advancing, helping. We represent such a great community. We've been able to pitch in more than other legislators to help with that cause. So just wanted to say that. I don't have a formal speech or anything. Every winter break, my children had started with having 2 children when I first ran. Now we have 4. So it's a kind of conversation gets a little bit longer. But my son's working in Florida, so we had to wait until after New Year's to have our family meeting about if I should keep doing what I love to do. And when we talk about it kind of midterm, it's not always unanimous because there's times when public service kind of drains on some of us. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's my younger kids in high school. But we are ready to go, and I'm announcing I'm going to run for re-election the 149. And what you all have allowed me to do, I've chaired the campaign committee. Nancy is super involved with the campaign committee. We got to a majority. Everything I cared about that was stopped in Harrisburg was because we were in the minority. If it was the environment or education or women's health care, democracy, pauses because we just can't get enough votes. So we all worked really hard and we got us to a majority, 102, 101. We're at 199 now. We have some special elections, but we're going to stay at 102, 101. I have to do everything I can with all of your help to grow that majority. So Megan mentioned it, a lot of good stuff we do in the House, pauses in the Senate, dies in the Senate. A lot of what we are doing dies in the Senate. If it's gun violence, if it's gun violence prevention, if it's healthcare, whatever the issue, we have to do, and I'm a little bit modest when it comes to this, moderate. I feel actually pretty optimistic we have a path to winning the Senate. If we can give Governor Shapiro a House, Democratic House, a Democratic Senate, wow. We have to do everything we can to get Josh's numbers as high as possible. And I know we can do that. I hope I'm able to 100% focus my political attention on that. But regardless, I will work. If I have to run in a primary, I will run an aggressive primary to win that, and then pivot to continuing to help Josh, continue to help the House grow and the Senate. I love what I do. I've chaired the Judiciary Committee in the minority for 5 years, a couple of years in the majority, way better in the majority. We passed good criminal justice reform policies. We passed a medical parole bill that couldn't get passed 2 years ago. We spent a lot of time working on that. This year, we got that out of the House. So we have a lot more work to do. We passed one of the 4 gun violence prevention bills last year. We aren't unanimous in the Democratic caucus on these progressive issues, but we will get there, and we will keep working hard. And I am really looking forward to working with whoever replaces Mary Jo, partnering with Amanda, growing our numbers, committing to getting as many votes out to vote for Josh. Robert's wrapping me up. But I didn't have a prepared address other than to thank you. If I could ask for your endorsement at the Montgomery County Democratic Convention, it would, as somebody here mentioned, it would not break my streak. Jerry mentioned I have a good streak going. So I hope to count on your help, and then continuing to work to advance good progressive values. So thank you so much for everything you do.
Well, I can't pass up the opportunity to say thank you, Tim, for all the things that you've done as in Harrisburg, because you've done a great job, and we're all very lucky to have you. Just so all of you remember, if you're not sure whether you're in the 148th or the 149th, the list is up here, and you can check on that. And as Tim mentioned, we will all be voting by state house district at the convention on February the 18th. Next, but of course you can't have elections, you can't have votes if you're not registered. And so one of the most important things that we do around here is registering. And so with that, I'm going to give it to Phyllis.
Okay, let's see if I can do this without all the dentation, the spitting sound. But hello, everybody. Happy New Year. I hope everyone had a good winter season. And I'll just add that since our area of Lower Marion Township was redistricted out of Tim Briggs' district into the 148th, everybody is quite surprised and saddened at the loss of not having Tim Briggs as our state representative still. But we will be happy to participate in the primary in the 148th. So the voter register, I'll give you a brief overview and then focus in on one particular part of the plan that the voter registration subcommittee has come up with for this coming election cycle. First, we are reviving our voter registration programs in both high schools, and I can give you more information about that later on, but I don't want to take a whole lot of time, but that looks very promising. We're looking more into trying to find out ways to kind of intercept new citizens earlier on in the process. So that's kind of under, we're continuing our research about that. We will be doing, as we always do, our letter to new homeowners. And that, remember, includes both new, single family houses, but also condominiums that show up on the deeds list. So we anticipate this year, and it's, again, it's a first-class letter that is signed by the chair of this committee, welcoming the new resident to Lower Merion and Narberth, and, asking, requesting, suggesting, reminding them that they need to re-register to vote since they're at a new address, and then trying to encourage them to register as Democrats, and why we think that's a good idea. And then what I mainly want to talk about, and also some other members of our subcommittee will talk about, is where committee people, the program that we've done for a few years now, asking committee people to follow up in person with the new residents in your own precinct and to personally greet them. And we have ways of, that we suggest to talk to them and register them if they seem to be Democrats. So that's something that a couple of people will be talking about in a minute, but I just wanted to also say, and we'll have some trainings, online by Zoom. You just need to attend one. You don't need to, but we implore you to attend one of these trainings so that you understand, the basics about voter registration and some other things. So just a show of hands, please. Just we're wondering what time to schedule these trainings. Raise your hand if you. I'm going to ask people to vote. When can you attend this sort of a thing? When's a good time for you? Wednesday during the day, Wednesday evening, Thursday evening, Sunday late morning, or Sunday afternoon. Okay, Wednesday during the day. Put your hand up high so I can actually see it. Okay, Wednesday evening. Okay, Thursday evening, like 7:30, like this kind of time. Thank you. And Sunday late morning and Sunday afternoon. We would not interfere with all creatures great and small. No, don't worry about that. So, okay, thank you. I will put out some specific dates. And I just want to say, the primary election is May 19th. The voter registration deadline for somebody to participate in an election is always by state law 15 days prior to that. And this cycle, that's May 4th. So that's the absolute final deadline for registering to vote, to participate in the primary. And remember, a person needs to be 18 to vote, but they do not need to be 18 to register. They can be 17 if they're going to be 18 on or before Election Day. All right, so Elaine, would you like to come up? This is Elaine Roseman. She's a committee person in 14-2. You may also recognize her as a member of the Candidate Recruitment Committee, but she is a member also of the Voter Registration Subcommittee and has a thing or two to talk about.
So can you see me because I'm short? Okay, so really just be very quick. One of the best things that I've done is gone to the homes of new homeowners, talked to them. They got their letters. I give them another, copy of their letter. We talk. The best thing is it's not just about registering. It's about getting to know your neighbors, talking about the candidates, telling them how important it is to be a part of the civic duty to vote. And really, it was kind of like a nice conversation. And just to give a side, my cousin lived around the corner from me, and she recently moved. And her address came up, new neighbors. So I said, "Oh, hi, you bought my cousin's house." And we became very friendly. And they were already registered to vote, and they check in and they'll call me and say, "Well, what are your suggestions?" That's the kind of thing we try to build. I'm just saying, and I hate canvassing during regular canvassing, but I like doing this so much because I get to meet my neighbors and they're very receptive. They're really receptive. And I will say, I'm more than happy to help in other precincts, except I think it's really important you do your own precinct. There aren't that many. I only had like 6 or 7, maybe. It was nothing. But it was so important that they get to know who we are and how we can help them. So I hope that the committee people will participate in this because it really is a worthwhile thing. Thank you.
This year, we anticipate about, we don't know exactly yet, a maximum probably 250, maybe towards 300 total deeds, new residents to follow up with. That's across the whole township and borough. And as Elaine said, that when we give you a list of all the new residents in your own precinct, you and your co-committee person's precinct, and the copy of the letter that was mailed to them, and a guide about what we're doing and how to do this. And then this year, we're also going to match every precinct with your own personal contact member of the voter registration subcommittee. If you have any questions, whatever, hand holding also included. So is Samantha Brumberger on Zoom? Sam was going to also give her relate her experiences doing this, which also were very positive. All right, I guess I don't know what's going on with that, but I will also say I have is Sam coming up? Oh, there she is. Okay.
I am, but
we can hardly hear you.
Okay. I can skip it if you can't hear me. I can hear everybody else, but
Can we make the Zoom sound louder?
Sorry. Is your mic volume up on your computer?
it is. It is.
I can hear her just fine.
Yeah, it's all the way up. But it's fine.
I want to hear what you have to say.
Well, I was actually just going to echo what has already been said. I don't enjoy canvassing anymore. I used to do it. It's not something that I really like to do very often, but I really would encourage our fellow committee people to try this, because I go with my co-committee person. I am from 3-2, and Amy Palmer and I go, and we have a really fun time, with each other and also meeting our new neighbors. And it does make a difference. And people are very appreciative to have someone come to their door, because usually they're selling something or they're giving you information that you may or may not want. But this is sort of just a, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. And you can say, do you have any questions about voting? But also, you're new to the neighborhood. If you have any other questions about anything else, here's like a friendly person who comes to welcome you. And people have been very appreciative, and we have had a really nice time doing that. So I would just also encourage people to try, even if it's not generally something you like to do. This feels very different than just like a random canvas. So that's all.
All right, thank you. So yeah, this is not only a way to register voters, it's a way to build community, which is absolutely what we need to be doing. And door to door, person to person, this is what being committee people, this is our superpower of being the Democratic leader in your precinct. And you can come up to people's door and knock on it and greet them. So I encourage you to respond when we reach out to you. I'll be sending a follow-up email with all this information. David just told me to tell you my name. I thought Rob had said it, but maybe not. Phyllis Rubin, chair of the voter registration subcommittee. And I should also say that we absolutely welcome new members. We welcome new ideas. We welcome new perspectives and whatever. So if you're interested or think you might be interested, you're definitely welcome to talk to me and or reply to the email, or talk to Elaine or Sam or any other. The other Sam is here too, Sam Florent. So you're welcome to talk to any of us. or Lois. Thank you.
You don't register no voters, you don't get no votes. Very, that process is very important. And thanks to the committee for their presentation. Sarah.
Okay. I have a bunch to say, so you got time. So I'm first going to talk about the convention, and then I'm going to switch hats to campaign support. Lot to get through. First of all, as Robert Paul said, the convention is Wednesday, February 18th. Please put it on your calendars right now. You have your phones on you because you got to vote with them in a minute. So put it onto your calendar. Doors open at 5:30. We gavel in at 7. And it'll take place again at North Penn High School in Lansdale. I tried to get it in Lower Merion, guys. I really tried hard. I sent so many emails. They said no. We're trying to bring a little bit of fun back to the convention. So we're going to try to do 3 new things. First, each area is going to get to create a 60-second video. I wanted it kind of like a roll call type thing, something fun, upbeat, get everybody ready to we have a lot going this year, so get us pumped. It'll basically be about what we've accomplished, where we're going this year. We are very, very lucky that Jess and Zeke Taylor, Daniela, and Alan Kobernick are going to be leading up making our video. All 60 seconds of them, they're going to make it the best 60 seconds in that 15-minute video. So huge thanks to them. The second thing, each area is going to have some kind of item or shirt or something that represents their area. Think like the DNC, how Wisconsin wore the cheese hats. Think that. DCLMN, if you have any ideas, let me know because we are trying to figure it out and we'll look at all the ideas and figure out something fun, energetic. If also anybody has a portable, actual outlet type thing, we want to bring Freedom the Donkey with us. So if you have one, let me know. We want to make DCLMN the funnest block of area there is, right? The third thing is a contest. A contest. Each area, we are going to look at who got the highest percentage of their voters, of the area, all the committee people can vote. So the highest percentage of their voters to turn out for the convention. I have been promised the prize is not anything to do with the golf outing. It'll be something else. So everybody, again, put the date and time in your calendar. Otherwise, start looking for a proxy and get those proxy forms in because, Lower Merion, we got to win this, right? Yeah, Norbert, we got to win. Most likely, just so heads up, we will be using a different electronic voting.
Oh, now it's letting me out.
Hi. Yeah, Mark, can you mute people? Sorry, I want to get through this quickly. We most likely will be using a different electronic voting system. As soon as I have more info, I will. Right now, they're beta testing it, so we have to see if it works. But I will let you guys know before the convention what to expect. We will have tech people. Jason Scott is going to be one of our volunteers with the tech people. So we will have your back. We will have a tech table. We'll make sure you guys all get your votes in. Next meeting, I'll go into more about what to expect and whatnot. Remember
that meeting.
What?
That meeting will be February 9th.
February 9th.
Before the convention.
So
Monday.
yes. Remember though, you can only vote in the races you are a qualified elector for. So if it's on your ballot at the polling place, you're a qualified elector. And so, for example, if you're a committee person in the 149, you will not be voting in the 148th for endorsement. If you live in the 148th, you will not be voting for endorsement in 149. We are looking for people who do not have a vote at the convention to volunteer. I'm overseeing the volunteers, so if you have anybody, let me know. It's a great way for high schoolers to get involved and get to see what one of these conventions is going to look like. I know our high school interns are excited.
What would they be doing?
They'll be escorting us to our areas where we're sitting. They'll be helping with check-ins. They'll be, you know, all the different setting up, closing down and cleaning up. Once the endorsement votes start happening, we will start setting up where you leave through the petition tables, because until we have those endorsements, there will be no petition sheets out. So that's another thing that they'll be setting up, the petition tables, that kind of stuff.
Can I ask one more
Yeah.
question? I think this is in transition, but I need
Yeah.
to clarify this for me. Does your proxy have to live in your precinct? Or
Yes.
So
This
that's- But that
yes.
bylaw's changing.
So the old bylaws will be, well, not old because they're still the bylaws as of today. They will still be governing this endorsement convention. There's like a 30-day.
Yeah, because the new bylaws come into effect on January the 15th, and there's a 30-day ruling on that. So they will not cover this convention. The old rules apply.
If they pass. If they pass. Additionally, just so you know, there will be a balcony this year. It's the same place, but we'll be using the balcony. We want to make sure that people have their ADA accommodations. If you have motility issues or if you need any other accommodations for disability, get in touch with me. They do have to be in writing. I'm working out with the rest of the committee, like how this is going to be honored and how we're going to do this. But since I am on the committee and I'm part of DCLMN, like, come to me, make sure that if you need accommodations, I will fight for you. I fought for mine for years and years. And so many people have given up on getting ADA accommodations because they were just like steamrolled or they just weren't answered. Like, I'm here for you guys. I will fight just like I fought for myself. Any questions about the convention? David.
Just on the ADA accommodations, there's going to be requirement that they put it in writing 3 days before.
Yes, I'm aware.
The earlier the better, but it has to go to.
Yes. So they have to be within within 3 days of the convention. All requested ADA accommodations will have to be put in writing. We are working on if this will be a form or if you have to email an email address. We're still debating which is easier. So we will get in touch with you. You're going to get a postcard that's headed for the mail soon to save the date. There's going to be a website with lots of information. There's a mobilize so you can sign in, you know, say that you're coming. There's a bunch of stuff you guys are going to get both by the mail, email, and other. So some things are being worked out if it'll be a form versus just an email, but we're working it out. But yes, 3 days before you have to request. Yes.
What is the thinking of holding back petitions till after that endless convention?
Restate the
Do
question.
we expect all these people to hang around?
Okay, so the reason why
Restate the question.
I was going to restate it within my answer. The reason why we are holding back petitions to be signed until the end is because we don't know who's going to be endorsed, and only endorsed candidates have their petition sheets out there. That's an NCDC decision, not me. And B, because it actually has been found to be very disruptive in the sign-in and check-in areas when we used to do it that way. And there's just so many of us, and we only have so much space to check everybody in. The focus as we come in will get people checked in and tech is working. The focus as you walk out, there'll be petitions to either grab. I'm going to talk about petitions in a minute in a way you guys can also do that. But we don't want to distract, but also we don't know who's going to be endorsed. Yes.
Sorry, one more project. I have to be on the rules committee, not just the rules title, but there's a real problem with timing. When we have to get out of the school.
I'm aware.
Okay. And because of that, we are doing everything in our power to cut off waste of time.
Yes.
But there will be very little, if any, time to get any petition signed after the convention is over, because we have every district, states represented at issue for the entire.
Okay. So to answer that question, I get it. There's concern about time. There's concern about space. It is what it is. The reality is the petitions will not be put out until after it'll be out and set up as you're leaving. It'll be out there. A, you can grab a sheet. Start getting other people to sign those too. Wonderful. B, I'm going to have petitions. So if you want to sign a petition and didn't have a chance, we're going to have them at the office. We're going to have a Google Drive that you can download them. We're going to have petitions that we're going to print off that you can grab from the office. We will make sure everybody can sign petitions. I promise. And that we get enough good signatures, not just signatures, but good signatures for all of our endorsed candidates to get on the ballot. Okay?
That it?
Well, I need to go on campaign support. That was okay. On to the campaign support. I'm going as fast as I can, but there were questions. Okay. 1, fill out the committee person survey, please. I'm done begging. I'm just going to start hounding you if you don't, because we need that information in order to be productive and prepare for this site. 2, business cards. I've asked and asked and asked. Please provide us a stack of your business cards. If you have them, if you don't have DCLMN business cards, if you want to give us some of your own, that's fine. But we have a setup where all the business cards are for there's a slot for every single committee person. People are coming into the office. People are taking them. Sarah Tarlow can attest. I actually had to ask her to get me a second set. So people are taking them. People want them this way. Remember, you're all on the ballot. So this way they have your contact information. They know how to get in touch with you. If they come into the office and they have a bunch of questions, we can say, here's your committee person's business card. Email them and they'll get back to you. It's a great way to connect you guys. So get me those business cards. You can come in, office hours are over there. You can come in when we're open. You can drop them on my porch. You can give them to me at a meeting. A couple of people did. Yesterday, we had such an amazing afternoon with speed dating. It was phenomenal. As the candidates can contest, they got so many great questions. It was really a lot of great FaceTime for them. We'll be doing more of this kind of stuff because there was such great feedback. We had somewhere between 50 and 60 people come in, and there was a football game going on. I can't believe right after. I couldn't believe how many people came. It was awesome. So keep coming to these events. Keep doing these things. Petitions. They start February 17th. A bunch of people have emailed me asking, can I get my petitions? Can I get my petitions? We can't collect any signatures until the 17th. Petition sheets aren't ready. I promise you they will be at the office. I will have a Google Drive that you also can download them and print them yourself. I promise I will get you the petitions as soon as I can, but we cannot collect signatures until the 17th. Democracy on Tap, January 20th. We have a new event that will be a monthly event, Conversation Cafe. The first one is January 29th at the office at 2:30. This is a new community engagement series, a monthly discussion between neighbors about relevant and dynamic topics that impact our everyday lives, an opportunity for us to gather as a community for 2 hours to share stories, listen, and discover what connects you. We're really excited about this new event.
Where's Democracy on Tap?
I will let you know a week before. We are working on that, but we usually don't really. Okay, but we don't let anybody know till the week before. I'll talk to you. Yeah. For petition events. See, I promised you all, we are going to get them enough good signatures for petition events. Tuesday, February 17th, Democracy on Tap. February 22nd, which is a Sunday, our big petition event. Thursday, February 26th, we have our college age Bryn Mawr student petition event with Scanlon and Representative Briggs. We will also be having a banned book story hour petition event. We do not have a date yet because we are working on a very extra special guest as our reader, and we're being as flexible as we can because we want that reader. So remember,
You all want to come.
you will all want to come if this person confirms. Remember, committee person survey, business cards, save February 18th for the convention. And don't forget, on February 3rd is the 148th candidate forum. It will be on Zoom. There is a QR code over by Gigi, and sign up and send that out to all your constituents. If you're in the 148th, make sure they all know about it, and make sure to like get them rah-rahed about it. Okay? Any questions before we move on? No. I'll be here if you got.
Okay. Before we get to the next item, I just want to remind everybody that I have nagged you constantly to let us know if you're planning to run for re-election. Most of you have been kind enough to let me know. Those of you who have not let me know, please let me know what your position is. Okay, because if you're not going to run, I got to find somebody, and that's not an easy task. All right, the next item on the agenda is the magistrate issue in 38-107. We've had Kathleen and Doug Rosenblum here to speak to you about their candidacies. As you all should remember, we don't have a clear authority to do anything, but since both candidates are so overqualified, I just couldn't turn them down. And so I said to them, well, if we get an endorsement from those of you who live in the district, which is Narberth, wards 4, 5, 8, part of 8, part of 10, and part of 11, and we know which divisions you are. If we get a vote for one or the other of them, I will write to the governor and ask him to pick. So with that, can I first have a vote? And we know who they are, who you are. Those of you in that district are in favor of yes, Bob. A motion to table this would be in order. Yes.
Second.
Wait, can somebody take question?
Yeah.
Can somebody who is not a qualified elector make a motion to table?
Well, but Bob is.
Yeah.
But Bob is a qualified elector.
No.
Bob is a qualified elector. He's certainly entitled to do that. And yes, it is. It's the San Quentin district. It certainly is. Most certainly is. It's the San Quentin.
Give me their names for their number.
Just Narberth. I gave you Narberth. Okay, yes. And there's no question that Bob has the power to do this. All right. Who seconded? Sorry. Christian, you're in that district. All right. So on that, the question on Bob's motion, can we have a vote? And on whether to table this matter or not? The issue is whether or not to recommend a candidate for magistrate judge to the governor.
So tell us what an aye vote would be and what a no vote.
An aye vote would be on your motion to table it. A no vote would be yes, go forward.
So ask for ayes or nays.
Ayes or nays, please. Everybody who lives in that district, and only the people who live in that district. I'm sorry? I'll let Bob answer that question.
We don't have any say in this matter. This is an appointment made by the governor, and it's not, it doesn't relate to us at all. So.
Well, it doesn't relate to us, but we don't have power. I agree with you that we don't have power.
Say it's not.
Correct.
There's a, the governor will appoint someone, and we have no say. Now, if we want to write letters, we can write letters. And the other problem I have with this is there's no process to this. Two people wrote letters, said, hey, I'd like to be considered for this, but we did nothing as far as reaching out to the community. We did nothing about advertising this. We did nothing at all except take the first two letters, and now we're going to vote on whether those people are. I just think in light of no process and the fact that we have no dog in the fight, okay, we should just not waste this committee's time at this time. When it becomes more appropriate, then by all means, let's take it up. But to be spending our time on it now, I think is premature.
Okay. Anybody else want to comment, Adrian?
So it's not just governor appoints. If they set appointment, the Senate has to by majority vote approve that.
Well, again, that only makes Bob's vote. All right. Can we have a vote on Bob's motion to table?
Aye.
I believe the ayes have it.
The online people don't have a link to vote. Are you paying attention to us?
Are you voting, Lindsay? Which way are you voting? Are you voting yes or no?
I would like to vote, so I'm voting against this motion.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
but
then
I don't know who
Can
else
we
is
do
like me
thumbs
online.
up or thumbs down? Can we do a thumbs up, thumbs down?
Sure.
Remember, only those in this.
Right, but
Raise
she
hand and
is. Lindsay is. Okay. Only people who live in the district, which are wards 4, 5, 8, 2, 10, 1 and 2, 11, 1 and Narberth are the people who vote.
So how are we voting online? I'm sorry.
go to the React, look under there, and you'll find a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Gotcha. So a thumbs up is that
Supporting the motion.
Correct.
which is to table.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. So can I have a thumbs up for those who vote for Bob's motion?
I can't find a thumbs down.
Well, since we can see you, why don't you hold your thumb up there? Or down,
Well,
whichever.
I'm voting to, I would like to, I don't want to table it.
You don't. All right. So that's a no. We'll count you as a no. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 to table. Deborah, you're 1. Anybody else? Lindsay, did you want to vote on this one or not?
Yes, I gave my thumbs down. It's on should be on my face. Yeah.
All right. Well, and Sarah Tarlow and Christian. So I believe that the ayes have it, and so we'll rule that Bob's motion is adopted. All right. We'll move on to the next matter, and that is what's so funny? I missed the joke. All right. Okay. The next issue is Eastern Ward's Vice Chair. Can I have a nomination for Eastern Ward's Vice Chair, please? Hallie. Can I have a second? Gilda Kramer. I'm sorry? Evan Mackey. Okay. Any other nominations for Vice Chair? Can I have a motion to close nominations? Okay. Can I have a vote? All in favor of appointing Evan as Vice Chairman for the Eastern Wards? Please say aye. Everybody gets to vote.
Aye.
All right. All right.
Aye.
It just, if anybody wants to know, the answer is that the county decided in the last, in September, that for party office, everybody votes. For public office, only the people who live in the district. All right, that brings us to the last item on the agenda, and that is the, yes, ma'am.
vice chair or third of the committee, the third of the board, is because the vice chair was also an officer of the entire committee. And had responsibility for the whole committee. So everyone, every committee person gets to vote for every vice chair.
In any event, the county so ruled, so that's why it's an issue, not an issue. All right, the last item on tonight's agenda. It's 5 minutes to 9. We're doing pretty well. The last item on the agenda is the election for area representative. Do I have any nominations for area representative to the MCDC? Oh,
Nominate,
Gigi.
nomination to Tasker.
Okay. There a second?
Second, Amy Palmer.
Okay, second, Amy Palmer. Are there any other nominations? Okay. Is there a second for Nancy Kleinberg?
I second.
Samantha Florent, seconds. Okay. With that, yes, Nancy, go.
I guess it's fine. Jess was going to.
Oh, okay. All right. Nancy, do you want to say anything or speak, or do you want Dana to speak? What is your preference?
I guess I'll speak. Oh, no, I'm wrong.
So I think this role requires someone who, take up there.
Yeah, please.
Okay. I'll be fast. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Andrea, for leaving me a nice police force. Appreciate that. Okay. So this role requires someone who's a bridge between our committee and the county committee. Nancy has been serving that role. She's able to bring our priorities to help feed the strategy of the overall committee. And that's something that we really need with these really troubling times that we're in. So I'd like for you to urge you to really consider that as you consider your vote. Her voice is trusted and respected, especially on complex and challenging issues. And with that item that Adrian brought up a little bit earlier about the nomination piece, that came from Nancy. So thank you for that, for your great work there. Her record speaks for itself. She's brought, started Indivisible for this area, grew it from 65 people to 1,500 people. So she's going to do her best to, just really push through any adversity and bring people along and form a caucus along the way. On a personal level, Nancy is someone who doesn't step back when things get hard. When things get really rough and tough, she sticks in there, forms her caucus, gets her people behind her, and I really appreciate that about her. And so for all of these reasons, I'm really proud to nominate Nancy Kleinberg for MCDC rep. Thank you.
Well, I told you have to pick either him or you to speak, and you picked. Well, God, I told you that. But if you want to say something, Nancy, I don't care.
We had 5 minutes.
Well, okay. Okay, well, he didn't take 5 minutes, so you want to take it, finish the, go ahead. Go ahead, Nancy.
I want to be clear. What you actually told me is that I have 5 minutes in total and that we could actually take
Oh, that's
longer.
fine. Okay. Yeah.
I don't want to do what I'm not supposed to. Hi, everybody. Everything that I've tried to do for this committee, for the county, is in line with my values, which I'm trying to help the country. It's commitment to the rule of law, the democratic process, transparency, decency, and inclusion. So it was because of those values that I've already been working with the executive committee for over 2 years. I started a petition. I don't know why that's happening. I started a petition over 2 years ago, and it basically asked MCDC to look at our endorsement process and make it more democratic, where committee people had a voice, because the process used to go something like this. The chair when a position came up, judicial or row, the chair appointed a committee, and we didn't know really why he appointed that committee, who was on it, why he picked them, and they interviewed candidates. We often didn't know who the candidates were, and we had no idea what they were interviewing for, because there was no rubric to help us know why they picked the candidates they picked. And I felt it was committee people who are, do the lion's share of the work. And we shouldn't just go to a convention to rubber stamp a candidate that we didn't know why we were endorsing. So I started a petition to get an ad hoc committee, work for MCDC, to just look at other counties, how they did things, how we could exemplify a more democratic, transparent process. It took me months to make that. I couldn't make the motion because I wasn't an elected member. I asked State Rep Napoleon Nelson to make the motion to just get a committee to look at things. It overwhelmingly passed 59-8. Jason appointed 5 people. Every one of our areas elected someone. They worked 9 months to present recommendations to the exec committee. And then I worked for months attending all the meetings I wasn't the only one that worked, but I worked really hard to get the executive committee to accept most of those recommendations. It's now they're getting incorporated into our bylaws. And now, and this was a question Adrian asked Rob, when you're picking for state committee, how are you judging the people? Because I think we have a right to know that. So now the process goes like this. There's a judicial recommendation committee. There's a row office transition recommendation committee. All 15 areas elect someone to that committee. Jason appoints 5 people, and they have a rubric. We know what they're picking on. They tell us why they've recommended people. So when we go to endorse, which is a really serious job, we know who we're endorsing and why. So I would really like to continue this job, at least see it through the bylaws, and then help us in other ways be even more democratic than we are. I feel like the people who know best what I've tried to do are our current reps, which is Eva Ray, Bill Leopold, and Adrian Seltzer. And Murray Levin is always there because he's on state committee. They've all endorsed me for this. I promise you, I'll take your ideas, your suggestions, your criticisms to the committee, and I'll regularly report back to you what we do. I thank the people who have given me their support. I promise I'll do my best. Oh, and I want to say something. There's comments that I'm very busy. I am very busy, but this is already built into my schedule. I've been doing it for 2 years. I promise you I will continue to work hard for you. And thank you for your consideration, and I ask for your vote.
Thank you, Nancy. That was short and sweet. And I appreciate it. Okay, Linda.
As I know you are aware, last in was the 48-hour stretch, we had a Senate vote.
Can everybody mute themselves on Zoom, please?
Whoever's not muted, please mute yourself. Okay, Linda.
Thank you very much. I'm here tonight to ask you to vote for me to serve as your representative at the Montgomery County Democratic Committee. The MCDC rep participates in executive meetings on many topics and reports back to DCLMN. The position also holds a seat on DCLMN's own executive committee. I'm deeply experienced in all the operations of DCLMN, so I can advance our goals at MCDC and add another voice and my judgment and my ideas to our own committee work. I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Lots of you have worked with me and know my work, but I just want to remind everyone, I have been a progressive Democrat my entire life, to my parents' great consternation. I became active in DCLMN in 2016 when I moved to Lower Merion. I was elected to become a committee person in 2018. I had committed to the DCLMN work in a whole number of ways. From 2017 to 2023, I worked in fundraising for our committee in various roles, including as silent auction coordinator, spring dinner / mixer coordinator, we changed the name of the event, and chair of the finance subcommittee. I've run phone banks for a number of local candidates. I've served on their campaign teams. I currently serve as a treasurer for a sitting township commissioner. I sat on the technology subcommittee for several years, assisting with updates to the databases, training committee people, and innovating the use of new computer-related tools for our committee work. Training is a particular passion for me. I believe that volunteers deserve to have the knowledge and tools to be effective in their jobs in getting out the vote and expanding our democratic majorities. Beginning in 2020 and continuing to the present, I have offered committee person training on a variety of topics. I initiated a new program to train outside poll workers in 2020 when many committee people were unable to attend their polling places. At the request of MCDC leadership, I have delivered new committee person training to other areas of Montgomery County as well. In 2020, I undertook the volunteer coordination for the campaign support subcommittee. I managed over 250 volunteers, allocating resources, training people, troubleshooting any problems they had. This was the first year of no excuse absentee balloting, and we pulled out all the stops to encourage our Democrats to request and return their mail-in ballots. I also previously served in executive leadership in DCLMN as finance chair and more recently as vice chair of the Eastern Wards, a position that I left due to my personal circumstances. And I continued, even after that time, I still continue my work as a committee person and offering training. There is so much to do in the political arena, especially in these particularly challenging times. And there are many, many worthy ways to contribute to the work of electing good Democrats. My efforts have always been focused right here in Lower Merion and Narberth, working side by side with local committee people, volunteers, leadership, candidates, and constituents. My diverse contributions to DCLMN demonstrate my commitment and my ability to learn and adapt. My involvement in various areas of committee work have prepared me to be a strong representative of DCLMN. I have never been ambitious about future prospects for myself. I have always endeavored to bring my experience and skills to the needs of our committee. I ask your vote tonight for MCDC rep. I will be a vigorous advocate for the interests of DCLMN and its committee people at county and at home. Thank you.
I would just like to say that how great it is that we have two such qualified candidates running for office, and I appreciate both of their willingness to stand up and do this. Sarah, it's time to talk about the vote.
Okay, in about 30 seconds, I am going to send the emails. Give it a second. It'll take a minute to get to all of you. And then vote. We're giving it how many minutes? I don't think we need 15. It's electronic. 10 minutes. We'll let you know when time's up. If you have any problems, you can text me. If you're online, 610-844-6875. If you're having problems and you're in the room, then just come over to me. And then we will look at the vote and let y'all know. Wi-Fi slow, sorry. Give it a minute, I'll tell you. About 7 of them have gone out. 7. The Wi-Fi is slow.
We're gonna get something that looks like this.
Yeah, it's just, well, now it's. Let me help Zoomland. I know. Zoomland. Zoomland, however you can hear me. Give it a minute. I've gotten some text. Just give it a minute. The Wi-Fi's a little slow. They're sending out. A few of you have gotten it. It's going a little faster. Just give it a minute. It's in spam. Only Savannah will be vintages. Oh, yeah. No.
I don't, she told him. I'm cool about it. We're good.
I got 53 of them. Well, hold on. Relax. Yes. They've all been sent. There you go.
While we're waiting for the vote, can everybody's attention for a second? While we're waiting for the votes to be recorded, Krishna has a couple things he wants to say.
Hi, everybody. So this is in relation to, this past week of absolute hell. I think that given what's happened and given the very likely possibility / inevitability that this is not the last time craziness is going to happen, I suggested to Rob that we set up a rapid response subcommittee to basically so we can have these discussions about how we're going to respond to breaking national insanity so that we are more prepared to actually, coordinate with potentially local activist groups, Indivisible, et cetera, and be able to, set stuff up, get the word out faster, set up just things we need to do, because with this specifically, hours matter. And just so for anybody who's interested, let us know. We will be having these discussions at some point. Again, this is, as you can probably tell, we don't have this infrastructure, and I think it's very important right now.
It's a perfect minute. Hi, Nancy says she wants to discuss an upcoming election, so we could all listen to Nancy for a minute.
Well, I just want to talk about this for a minute, but the minute you're ready, Sarah, tell me and I'll stop talking. I just want to get back to what Tim Briggs was talking about and give my little overview. We had an amazing election in November. We flipped deep and wide. Eugene DePasquale said there were 500 elections in Allegheny County, and the Republicans only won 11 of them. We flipped, and we flipped so many districts in Monco, Trapp, Limerick that were solid Republican. We flipped the school board in Bensalem and Bucks County. So the wind, I believe, is beneath our wings. So don't tell me that I don't want to take your time, but I'm just filling in here. But I just want to say that we have if the special elections go away, the House by only one vote. That's very precarious. There are at least 4 or 5 very flippable seats within our reach. I've been working with those candidates already. There's the closest one to us is Elizabeth Morrow. She's running again in the Delco Chester district. But this last time, are we done? Oh,
No.
last time,
I'm just going to support what you just said.
go for it.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna add that I spent at least 12 weekends on the Morrow campaign last time. She's a wonderful candidate. Eva was with us, and a number of other people were with us, and you know, we can't have a better candidate than Elizabeth.
So the 4 districts I'm all on board on is Elizabeth's, the 160. There's a candidate in the Bethlehem area, Jeff Warren, who's running in the PA 137. He's the most likely flip in the state. 2 seats in Bucks County where we can go canvass. And what I wanted to say is I was very reluctant last time to get into the PA Senate. I didn't think we had a chance, but we have a chance. And right here in Monco, Chris Thomas, who was the executive director of MCDC, just left, and he's running for a Senate seat that's the most flippable Senate seat. We can help him. There's so much to do. And just for the record, right now, because these campaigns aren't like staffed, like we need volunteers. If anybody's a really decent website constructor, designer, 2 candidates who are very flippable need their websites designed. So let me know. And I just think we have to do all we can. It is within reach that we get the governorship, the Senate, and the House. And if we don't get the Senate, the bills die. So let's go team. You don't have to clap.
So we will be annoying you to give money and to help us out in ringing doorbells in those far out districts. It's one of the things that I personally do a lot of, as Nancy knows. All right, we're still waiting. Are we done? We're done. All right.
And our new MCDC rep is Nancy Kleinberg.
All right. With that, unless there's anything else, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Thank you so much.
John, motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Phyllis? All right. Can I have a vote? All in favor? All right. So long, everybody. February 9.